Jai Shri Krishna. So today is Friday. I mean, you can see my cream color t-shirt as well. And moon has crossed Libra and moon has entered Scorpio in Anuradha Nakshatra. And we are going to be seeing a full moon soon in Purvashada Nakshatra. I've also published video about full moon remedy. All right. So today's topic is going to be a very interesting topic. And because today is Friday, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Venus Mahadasha of 20 years. So I have not touched any Mahadasha yet, but I'm touching Venus Mahadasha to start with. As I always say, right, Venus is not my Lagna Lord, Venus is not my Rashi Lord, but it's still a Guru. You have to bow down to the Guru like the way Jupiter is. All right, okay. So you have to remember Venus has got the highest number of years in the Mahadasha, 20 years, right? No other planet gets 20, Saturn gets 19. And when I say a year means it's 360 days, not 365 days. So you have to do this adjustment. On a 20-year time period, we are talking a little bit, a delta of around 105 days, which is like more than 3 months. That's a time difference, right? On a 20-year thing. So you have to watch out for it. This is where I think a lot of people, right, the software people as well as astrologers go wrong because they use 365/25 and they just follow the software. I've had several interesting discussions with software companies to make it 360 as well. The so-called experts in I don't want to give names of them, but they're so-called experts. Yeah, okay. But again, I'm only sharing this because the days per year is 360. Okay, all right. So first you have to understand, I published video about Vibgyor, I published video about all about Venus, great benefic, etc. Watch that. See, Venus is not going to behave the same way for Team A ascendant and Team B ascendant. Team A ascendant, Lagna, the rising sign, Aries, Cancer, Leo, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Pisces. 6 ascendants out. Is going to behave very differently here. For the other 6 ascendants, which is Taurus, Gemini, Virgo, Libra, Capricorn, Aquarius, is going to behave very differently because of the Adhipatyas, right? The Adhipatya is very different. All right. Within the 6 ascendants of Team B, Venus will do very well for Capricorn because he's a Yoga Karaka and he's excellent. Ascendant. Second is Aquarius, right? He's also Yoga Karaka for Aquarius. Third is Libra ascendant because he's the Lagna Lord, Mula Trikona, all of the energy comes in Libra, right? He's going to do very well. And Aquarius, and then Taurus ascendant, the lowest, I would say, among this. Gemini ascendant as well as Virgo ascendant also, he will do good because it's either a 5th lord, right, or a 9th lord for Gemini Virgo. Okay, the Mahadasha is going to be 20 years. Okay, it is 20 years he will give you the rise, but it's going to be slow and steady. Like, think about you climbing Tirupati by stairs. You have to walk, right? Not going by so-called climbing the mountain in a car, right? Step by step. So he will take you up. Okay, he will give you the rise. All right, okay. Now you also have to check where your moon is. If Venus becomes, in a way connected as your Rashi Lord, meaning moon is in any one of Venus Rashis, and then Venus Mahadasha starts and you are one of the Team B ascendants, it is going to be excellent. Okay, all right. Now if you're a Team A ascendant, watch out for the Mahadasha, right, within Venus, Antardasas of Venus, Saturn, Mercury, Rahu. And also anywhere if the Maraka comes, you got to watch out, Antardasa. If you are a Team B ascendant, watch out Antardasa within Venus Mahadasha for Jupiter, Moon, plus any Maraka Antardasas. Okay, all right. Venus Nakshatras, 3 Nakshatras, Bharani, Purva Falguni, Purvashada. Right? These are the 3 Nakshatras. Bharani is what Venus is, Mula Trikona and favorite. Always look at the transit moon for strength. All right. The Friday is Venus day, the day Lord. Okay, Venus gets Digbala in the 4th house. I also published Venus Hora, so you can use the Venus Hora, specifically Team B Ascendant. All right. Strength in terms of exaltation is Pisces, which is 28 degrees, and that is Pushkara Navamsa and Vargotama. He goes into Pisces in the Navamsha. No other planet gets this so-called dignification as Venus, where Rashi chart, Navamsha chart, he gets the same place, right, from Rashi to Navamsha, which is Vargotama. All right. Next, if you see, is Mula Trikona is Libra. Okay, that is his favorite sign. His own house is Taurus, and the degree of exaltation is 28. The degree of debilitation is also 28 in Virgo. Okay, technically speaking, Venus in Virgo will also do good. Okay, it is not that it will be bad. The most difficult rashis for Venus, if you look at the D1 chart, right, the most difficult is Cancer and Leo. Okay, most difficult. Okay, even in Aries or in Scorpio, he's going to aspect its own house. Okay, the Cancer and Leo is where Venus placed may not do good. Okay, but Venus in your D1 chart, and if you're a Team B ascendant, Taurus excellent, Gemini very good, even Virgo is not bad, Libra is very good. Okay, Sagittarius is good, Capricorn, Aquarius is excellent. Venus placement in D1. Don't see that as malefic Rashi and all. It's a friendly Rashi. This malefic, benefic and all, you go to more into the Navamsha part. It's a friendly Rashi, and it's purely friendly. That's it. Okay, so you look at the 7 ways of strength. Exaltation, right? Mula Trikona, own house, right? Neutral or friend, neutral, inimical, debilitation. The 7, you don't look at it this way. Yeah, okay. Don't look at malefic, benefic and get caught with it that Venus does bad in Capricorn or Aquarius in D1. No, especially if it is Venus, it's his friend, is very comfortable. Okay, all right. Now coming back, he gets Digbala in the 4th house, directional strength. Okay, Venus is exalted in Pisces, so that is also excellent. All right. Now, the inimical planets for Venus, if you see, technically is the Sun and Moon. That is where the challenge is. Okay. The items wise, if you look at, is silver, diamond, silk, right? And the color is more like a off-white or a cream color. If you read BPHS, it says very clearly donated tawny color cow, not buffalo, cow and a calf, especially female, right, on a Friday. Okay. Now in your chart, if Venus is retrograde, okay, be patient. If Venus is retrograde in your birth chart, when Venus goes retrograde in the transit, it will give you excellent result. Okay, and Venus is the only planet where it gives almost 9 results, in transit from the moon. Excellent. Okay, you also have to see Veda, but Venus from the natal moon on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, then 8th, 6th and 7th he doesn't do well. Then 9th, 11th, 12th, 9 houses he will do very well in transit. All right. If you read BPHS, right, Parashara Horashastra by Maharishi Parashara, he says clearly at the start, Venus is the incarnate of intoxication, okay, ecstasy, delight and pride among all the grahas. Okay, so when our Venus Mahadasha starts, you have to be careful, right? Is one thing you have to be careful because of Shukra and the Vamana avatar story. It says again, based on your age and based on your age and your birth chart details, it says immediately it will give you marriage. In Venus Mahadasha of 20 years, it can give you marriage, acquisition of jewels, clothes, gems and concealed treasure, digging in the backyard and finding a treasure, right? Or somewhere hidden stuff, gain of wealth and ornaments, gain of money from trade and agriculture pursuits, gain of export and import of goods, acquisition of fancy clothes, ornaments, conveyance, car and land. Okay, availability of sweet preparations, recognitions at work, luxurious functions of songs and dances. The singing and dancing will happen in a big way. And I've seen that even with people, the Venus ascendants, Libra, Taurus, and Venus, until the itself is coming, it's full singing and dancing. Yeah. Blessing of Goddess Lakshmi. Very good conveyances. They'll only talk about like BMWs and Mercedes. Right, Venus ascendants, Moon in Taurus, Venus ascendants, all those things. And Venus Antardasa comes, or Venus Mahadasha comes, it's all about BMWs and Louis Vuitton and Rolls Royce and all those things will come. Okay, gain higher positions in a company, promotions, okay, performance of pious deeds, building of reservoirs and temples, giving grains and charity, availability of sweet preparations, strength and good focus in work, name and fame, happiness from family. Okay, lot of the good things you see here. Now, Venus should not be compassed with Sun. Okay, Venus and Mercury together for a team B ascendant will do a very good yoga combination. And even if Venus is in Virgo, see where Mercury is, there can be Parivartana yoga. Okay, Parivartana yoga. Even if Venus is not placed well, see if Jupiter is aspecting us, it's excellent. I've done video of Jupiter and Venus conjunction about a girl child. Watch that video. I've also done, what does Jupiter Venus mean, how they behave, etc. So watch, you will understand. So Venus is a beautiful planet. Okay, you can see that even if you look at Graha Kala Parimana in Uttara Kala Mitra Kalidasa, he speaks about Venus as more benefic than Jupiter in a way. Of course, he's get that one eye vision, right? That thing is cut off. That is where, in a way, today Jupiter is stronger than Venus, but he's also got special aspects, Jupiter. Now, there is something called Venus Adi Yoga, like Chandra Adi Yoga, okay, which no other planet gets other than Moon. The Venus Adi Yoga is when Venus is exalted in Pisces, which happens almost like once a year time, right? Approximately once a year time, when Venus, that is around the March time period, okay? When Venus is exalted. And if Jupiter is with Venus in Pisces, okay? Pisces, and then Moon has to be in Virgo, okay? Now the Venus Adi Yoga will come, 6th, 7th, 8th from Venus will get dignified. This is something not really written in the books, but you can see it in the sky. You can see it in the sky. Because there are people who went and complained sudden shining in the sky. It is because of Venus. The other combination is Venus in Pisces, Jupiter and Moon in Virgo. Exactly opposite, because they all reflect light. And the Venus Adi Yoga is very strong because Venus is called Velli, silver, Friday. Venus is extremely bright. You see people with a very strong Venus, right? They will have some kind of glow luster here. You can see that. You can observe that. Especially when Venus becomes Lagna Lord, Rashi Lord, Venus Mahadasha, Venus Antardasa, there is always one shine will be there. It's a very unique shine. A lot of things you can say, but you have to observe. A lot of things cannot be just taught in a book. Okay, the planet which really Venus, the blocking planet for Venus is Sun. It should not be combust conjunct with Sun at all. Okay, now Venus and Rahu, Venus is a Bhoga Karaka, Rahu is also a Bhoga Karaka. Venus Rahu, it's good, there is plus and minus, let's put it that way. Okay, Venus Rahu, right? But Sun is the most difficult for Venus. Okay. Next, if you look at it, if you read Bhrigu Sutras, for example, right? Bhrigu Sutras, which is Bhrigu is again Shukra's father, speaks about how Venus in the 12th house and benefic Rashi and conjunct with another being benefic like Jupiter take you to Swargaloka after death. Guaranteed. Of course, there are other combinations involved, right? Venus is the only planet, next is only Jupiter, which does well in the 12th house. No other planet does well in the 12th house other than Venus. the best in the 12th. Venus gets Digbala on the 4th. Also, he does very well in the 4th house. 12th house, excellent, because the natural 12th house, he gets exalted. And 12th house is in a way of Swargaloka. One important thing is Venus should never be, so-called alone in the chart. Okay, if he is in the 12th house, he should not be alone. Okay, but if he's anywhere between 1 to 11 houses placement, he should be alone. He should be alone. But in the 12th house, he has to be with somebody, and I'll explain that why. See, Venus in 1st to 11th house, he has to be alone. And the reason because is, think about Guru Shukracharya always trying to guide the Asuras, right? And they were always trying to check on him and doing anything opposition. They even influenced Shukracharya to have liquor, meat, etc. So anywhere between 1 to 11th, right? If he's with another planet, especially like a malefic, right? He can get influenced. Okay? Especially a malefic. We are comparing an Asura to a malefic in a way today. Okay, because the malefic planets are like Krura Graha, if you read it in BPHS. Now in the 12th house, what happens is Venus gets exalted. Okay, and it's a moksha house. Here, Venus owns 2 houses. One is like a Artha house, second, which is Taurus, and 7th house, which is a Kama house. Okay, and he gets Digbala on the 4th and exalted, which is a moksha house, and exalted in the 12th, which is a moksha house. So in a way, if you see, when Venus in the 12th house, right, he needs another benefic. When I say another benefic, it can be Jupiter, which is excellent, even Mercury. Okay, Moon should not be there. Moon and Venus at 12th is a problem because somewhere Sun will be around and Moon is without strength. Moon and Venus seeing each other is excellent. Okay, all right. Venus is all Karaka for fluids. Okay, fashion industry, other than Moon. Entertainment, movies. All movies are released on Friday. You watch that. Everything is associated with Venus. All the movies only on Friday. Entertainment. Look at all the people, the cinema stars, right? Look at all their costumes, dresses, handbags, sunglasses, cars, homes. You will see all that Venus thing. Venus Karaka-wise, if you see, right, is more like the so-called movable asset, like car, luxurious cars, premium vehicles, premium conveyances, going in a business class, not in an economy class, right? All those things you will see. Yeah, Venus is also Karaka for liquids and fluids. So I had an interesting chart. One time I was doing a consultation a little over a year ago. The Aquarius is the ascendant and Venus is in the Lagna. Okay, Venus is in the Lagna, Aquarius ascendant. Moon is in the Leo house, 7th house in Pura Falguni Nakshatra, Venus Nakshatra again. Basically, Moon and Venus aspecting each other. And the child is around 2.5 years, 3 years old maybe. Yeah, back then it was 3 years old. And my first question was, the child would love milk. Okay, milk-based products. And try to play a game with the child and you will see what happens. In a fact that hide milk, don't give milk and see what happens, right? Looks like they were telling me, the family was telling me, they're already playing this game, because the child wants all the milk and milk sweets and all. So they are telling to the child that you behave well, we'll give you the milk sweet and all. Okay, so why? Because Moon and Venus aspect each other, right? That milk thing will be very strong. That too in that 1-7 axis, Lagna, 1st and 7th. And for an Aquarius ascendant, Venus is a Yoga Karaka sitting in Lagna. And Moon is also sitting in 7th, which and in the nakshatra of Pura Falguni. Right? So you can see when Moon and Venus aspects, that is a strong thing for milk-based products and liquids, all liquid food, etc. So, yeah, okay. Many of the books, if you read, including, if I remember, Yavana Kavya, I think, Chadakalangara, Uttarakamitra Kalidasa, and I also think it is Brihachataka, Varahamira. Many of them rate Venus as a higher benefic than Jupiter. Okay? But eventually it comes to, if you break it down, Jupiter is the higher benefic than Venus. And that Vamana story plays a big part. Okay. Eye infections, right? So, yeah. See, in a Venus Mahadasha, 20 years, right? The Venus itself is a very important thing. Venus, it will change the track. Okay? Look at where your Venus is placed within the Rashi in the Mahadasha. If it is placed 0 to 10 degrees, 10 to 20 or 20 to 30, that means Venus, right? The so-called Venus as its Karaka, right? If it's 0 to 10 in the first, 6 years, 6.5 years itself, he will give you the result straight away. If he's placed between 10 to 20, Venus Karaka results will come in the second part of the Mahadasha. If Venus is placed in the last part, he will give you in the last part of the Mahadasha when it's 20 to 30. So this is a Drekana system. Now what is important is if Venus is retrograde, the reverse will happen. If Venus is retrograde between 0 to 10, the result will come in the last. Okay? And if Venus is retrograde in the middle, it will be in the middle. Venus is retrograde in the last, he will give it in the front. So this is also how you can see the retrograde result. This is only Karaka, the Adipatya, right? That you will get immediately. Okay? So you have to understand Karaka and Adipatya. The Karaka results, right, typically will come in the transit of Venus from the moon. The Adipatya will come through the Mahadasha. So it's like a parallel track, the Karaka and Adipatya. Okay. Mantras. Mantras is Om Lakshmi Namaha. Pray to Lakshmi, do your remedies for Lakshmi. You want excellent results, pray for Lakshmi daily 108 times. Om Shukraya Namaha 108 times. Okay, very simple. Any Lakshmi Stotram, any Shukra Stotram also, you can do Shukra Gayatri. The Hima Kundam Rinalabam Daityanam Paramam Gurum Sarvashastra Pravattaram Bhargavam Pranamamimam. You can say this sloka or Om Shukraya Namaha, Om Lakshmi Namaha. Okay. Friday is very auspicious. So make sure to use Friday. Venus auras are all auspicious for you guys if you are a team B ascendant. Okay, go to a temple, right, on a Friday or when transit moon is in Venus Nakshatra, when that moon is with strength, and use Venus Hora. Go to Triambakeshwar Jyotirlinga. Watch the video I published on Triambakeshwar Jyotirlinga on Nashik and follow those. You will see phenomenal results, right? And then go to Guru Shukracharya temple near Shirdi in a place called Kopargaon in Maharashtra. On a Friday, Venus Hora, pray for if you want to get married. Go pray for your marriage. And I've also done a video on that. Go watch that. Pray for your marriage and you tell that once the marriage thing gets fixed, I'll come here, tie the first knot and whatever it is before I make it public. That place is for marriage without any muhurta. Okay? Or if you're having marriage issues, go there. Okay? Saturn Venus eye infection is something to look out for. Second important thing, Saturn Venus is, I say Saturn Venus here, right? Especially in Mahadasha of Venus, Antardasa of Saturn, or Saturn Mahadasha Venus Antardasa. The Saturn Venus, Saturn eye infection you want to look out for. Okay? All right. Second thing is, in case, in Venus Mahadasha you are already married, if you are having arguments with your spouse, that could also be reason Venus has got some kind of a malefic influence. Can be with Sun, can be with Mars aspect, etc. Right? Even Saturn. So what you should also do is, right, pray to Lakshmi again. Same thing to Lakshmi. Go to Lakshmi temple Tiruchanur near the Tirupati, right, on Uttarashada Nakshatra day when moon is at Uttarashada transit. Pray over there. Most of your problems will go away. Right? I hope this video was helpful. Share your comments in the comment section. Yeah, if you found this helpful. 20 years, it is going to be a very good ride. It is going to be a step by step. Venus is a slow moving planet. Okay, and Venus will give you the best results. Nothing happens overnight. Only Rahu will do overnight results. Venus won't. Yeah, but Venus results are permanent and excellent results. 20 years, it will take you from zero to hero in a way, if you are a team B ascendant specifically. Team B ascendant. And if you're Capricorn ascendant, Aquarius ascendant, Libra ascendant, it will take you to a whole different level. Venus Mahadasha. Right? Venus gets hidden in 3rd house and 8th house. The 2 houses it doesn't do well. Other than every other house, it will do well. 3rd and 8th is the most difficult. Yeah, that is something. 8th also, it will give you occult science, spirituality, non-materialistic. That's it. 3rd and 8th, non-materialistic. Every other house, the 10 houses where Venus is placed, will give you materialistic results. So you want to decide which is important for you. Okay, watch the header as well here. It will help you to break it down. I have given all the details in the header. Second is, if you find this video helpful, press the like button, share it with your friends and family as well. Yeah, and share your comments in the comment section. Of course, click the bell button, notification button as well if you find it useful, and follow the channel for the latest and greatest updates. Om Shukraya Namaha, Om Lakshmiye Namaha, Om Bhriguve Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna.